The hospital called at 2:17 a.m. Their tone wasn't frantic, it was restrained, deliberate. "Sir, your wife's been admitted. She's conscious, but badly injured." By the time I arrived, the hallway smelled of disinfectant and dried blood. She was sitting on the bed, bruises dark across her cheek, one eye swollen shut. When she saw me, she whispered to the nurse, it was the police chief's son. I didn't speak. I just watched her hand tremble as she clutched the blanket. An officer stood outside the room, pretending to take notes, eyes avoiding mine. He already knew. Later that night, my phone buzzed with a message from an unknown number. "My dad controls every cop in this county. File a report. See what happens." He was right. I couldn't touch him. Not here, not legally. So I made a call. One name, one number. "Detroit," I said. A pause, then a voice deep and steady answered. "On my way. Don't do anything yet." They called it assault. I called it something else. The investigation died before it began. Evidence misplaced, witnesses unavailable. The chief's son walked free, smiling for the cameras, saying it was a misunderstanding. My wife didn't attend the hearing. She sat home in silence, replaying it all in her head. But something in her eyes shifted after that night, something cold, quiet, almost guilty. At first I thought it was trauma. Then I noticed the small inconsistencies. The way she avoided certain questions. How her phone never left her side. How she flinched when I mentioned his name. When I asked why she hadn't fought back, she said softly, "I knew he'd do it eventually." Those words stayed in my head long after she left the room. Eventually. It didn't sound like surprise. It sounded like expectation. That's when I began to wonder if the beating wasn't the beginning. Maybe it was the ending of something I was never supposed to find out. I started to dig, not openly, just small steps, quiet steps. I requested the hospital's intake forms. She'd written his name under known assailant, but crossed it out later, replaced with unknown male. She told the nurse one thing, then changed it. Her clothes were missing from evidence. Security footage from the parking lot corrupted. I met with a clerk I trusted at the courthouse. He showed me a sealed document. A civil restraining order, filed 2 years ago. The plaintiff, the police chief's son. The respondent, my wife. Filed, then withdrawn the next day. I went home, made dinner, smiled like nothing was wrong. While she showered, I checked her phone. The same number that had texted me was in her messages. Months of conversation. They weren't enemies, they were something else. Something worse. The messages told a story. Flirting, late-night arguments, jealousy. Then one line that froze me. "If your husband finds out, it's over for both of us." That's when I realized the truth. The attack wasn't random. It was personal, intimate. A relationship gone wrong. She hadn't been assaulted by a stranger. She'd been punished by a lover. I didn't confront her that night. I waited. When my contact from Detroit arrived, I picked him up from the station. His name was Carter, her uncle, a man with the kind of past that never really dies, it just sleeps. He listened quietly as I told him everything. He didn't interrupt, just nodded once and said, "You sure?" I handed him her phone, the texts, the photos, the report. He read them all, slow and silent, then closed the folder. "She lied to both of you," he said finally. When we got back to the house, she was in the kitchen pretending to cook. Her hands shook when she saw him. "Uncle," she said softly. He didn't respond, just looked at her, then at me. I placed the phone on the counter and pressed play on the recording. Her voice, laughing with the same man who'd beaten her. Carter's jaw tightened, her face drained of color. "Why?" I asked quietly. She looked at me, eyes wet. "He said he'd leave his wife for me. I didn't think he'd—" I cut her off. "He didn't leave her. He left you, beaten in a hospital bed." Carter spoke first. "Let me handle it." But I shook my head. No, this one's mine. I called the chief's office the next morning, asked to meet privately, told him I wanted no trouble, told him I just wanted closure. He agreed. We met at an abandoned marina outside town. His son came with him, cocky, smirking, untouchable. I handed the chief a folder. His son's messages, bank transfers, photos, videos, enough to destroy his career and his family in a single day. I handed the chief a folder. His son's messages, bank transfers, photos, videos, enough to destroy his career and his family in a single day. "I'll make this easy," I said. "You'll resign, he'll disappear. Tonight." The chief tried to bluff. "You're bluffing." I pressed play on a recording. His son's voice, bragging, laughing, confessing. The chief's face went pale. By sunrise, they were both gone. No headlines, no arrests, just silence. Carter left town the same night, didn't say goodbye. My wife packed her bags a week later, said she couldn't live with the shame. I didn't stop her. The house was quiet again, clean. People in town whispered that justice had finally come from somewhere above the law. I let them believe whatever version made sense. The truth was simpler. Justice doesn't come from above. It comes from within, slowly, quietly, until the balance tilts. Sometimes you don't need to raise your voice. You just need to make the right call. She lost her lover. He lost his freedom. And me? I lost the illusion of innocence. But I kept the one thing they couldn't touch: control. And in this town, that's worth more than forgiveness.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. Subscribe now to Cheating Stories Insight World for more amazing stories.